He flirted with his aunt, who was 7 years older than him, and with Lady Rokujo. He also encountered a beautiful, low-born girl named Yugao at his wet nurse's house and started pursuing her. Then he approached a high-born but impoverished noblewoman called the Last Cherry Blossom, among others. In short, Genji became entangled with many women, and you may think, this guy's morals are just terrible. But despite all his affairs, the woman he can't forget is still the unattainable Fujitsubo. He constantly regrets that none of his other lovers can be as perfect as she was. Later, by a chance opportunity, Genji discovered a young girl in the mountains. She was incredibly beautiful, with eyes that were particularly pure and lively, and she resembled Fujitsubo. Who is this girl? She is Fujitsubo's niece, the illegitimate daughter of the Minister of the Left, and her name is Ukifune. When Genji first saw Ukifune, he remarked that she was with noble birth, beautiful and graceful, and very young, with no trace of jealousy, and easy to get along with. I can raise her exactly as I wish. So Genji did something. He took Ukifune and made her his adopted daughter. Although they were officially father and daughter, Genji intended to groom her according to the standards of a lover and claim her once she grew up. Genji personally taught Ukifune skills such as music, chess, calligraphy, and dance, determined to create his ideal woman. Seeing this, you may be shocked and think, wow, they wrote it like this? Even today, we occasionally hear the term Genji plan. What does it mean? It comes from the tale of Genji and simply refers to raising a young girl to become a perfect wife. Such morally questionable and humanly disruptive practices were also taboo in Genji's time, but he went ahead with it, and those around him silently endured it. At this point, we can understand why modern laws prohibit single men from legally adopting young girls. At least on some level, these laws take such concerns into account. In the novel, when Genji and Ukifune first met, Genji was 18 years old, and Ukifune was at most 10. As the story progressed, we found that Ukifune was the most impressive woman in the novel, representing the ideal female character. However, despite her perfection, her fate was also very tragic. Here's Ukifune's story. She lost her mother at a young age, and her father paid no attention to her because she was an illegitimate child. As a child, she was raised by her grandmother. After her grandmother's death, she encountered Genji. The 10-year-old girl was secretly taken to Genji's residence, where she was provided with all the necessities and luxuries, living in comfort and security. She was deeply preferred by Genji, but he strictly forbade her from seeing other men. Ukifune was a very innocent and kind girl, raised in a bubble. However, this was a fatal character flaw, because she had no defenses against the outside world and didn't understand how it really worked. So sometimes when we have children, especially girls, we shouldn't shield them from all negative information out of fear of them getting hurt. Raising them in a vacuum can leave them ill-equipped to handle the realities of the world. In the book, there's a passage where Ukifune has reached the age of marriage and has grown into a graceful and delicate young woman, inspiring endless fantasies in Genji. But Ukifune, still a child in her maturity, was unaware of her situation. When Genji returned from outside, she eagerly ran to him and threw herself into his arms without any reservation. Her feelings for him were simple and passionate, making her appear pitiful. Genji, however, was very complicated. He didn't approach her as a father would. He treated her as his pet. When Ukifune turned 14, Genji forcibly took her. From then on, Ukifune became Genji's woman.